The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. That's 888-825-5225. 225. Josh starts off this hour in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Hey, Josh, how are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So we are working on baby step 2. We started off with about $203,000, and we paid off about $90,000 since last August.
Wow.
So we've been hitting it really hard. Well, part of that was we sold a house in California and moved to Idaho, so that helped.
Mm-hmm.
But so we have, my son is 4 years old, and he's about to have a major surgery next year. It'll be surgery number 10 for him.
Wow.
And so as we look forward to, he's got some skeletal issues, so he's totally fine. It's just they need to fix some bone stuff. And so as we look forward to that and we begin planning for that process, I'm looking at our debt situation, and I can pay off by the time of his surgery about $46,000 by next year with some increased income that's about to happen. And that's before we get the surgery. So my question really is do I focus on paying down that debt and saving $400 a month in payments by the time we go to that surgery, or do I pause baby step 2 and save up the pile of money like I would for a pregnancy of some sort like you recommend, and still have that afterwards? I just still have that debt there, but if we do that, then by the time the surgery comes, if I don't pause baby step 2, I'll only have 2 debts left, our 2 biggest.
Yeah.
So the momentum side of me wants to just pay on baby step 2 and roll those new medical bills into baby step 2 once they come in.
I got you.
Just to keep that momentum going. So that's the question.
How many kids have you got?
Just him. Once we had him, we wanted to focus on getting him taken care of.
Yeah. It sounds like the little guy's been through it.
He has, but he's you never know. He's the happiest kid in the world.
Yeah. Kids that face that stuff are tough. I mean,
He is, yeah.
But I'm not. Oh, my gosh. It makes me cry. Oh, poor little guy. All right. So the surgery that he's having, your health insurance covers it?
So we're not sure. So part of that scenario is my wife is going to start her private practice. She's a clinical therapist, and so we're going to see a massive increase in income, but that's also going to come with a change of insurance. So we're not sure what that looks like yet. And as far as how much it'll cover, plus the specialist, we're in Idaho, and the specialist who he works with is in Florida, so it's going to throw some wrenches into that. So we're just not sure what that looks like yet. It will cover some of it. It will be a question of how much.
Okay. All right. Well, job one is take care of him.
Sure.
And you'll get around to the debt. And so to the extent you actually have to pay money for the surgery or for the medical, you're going to, once you define, what you need to do is spend a lot of time and effort clearly defining what your financial exposure is, what you are going to have to pay. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then that gives us our number. And I need that number if I'm you. Once I've got that number, then that number happens before any further debt reduction happens. But if you've got, an HSA with a $5,000 deductible and they pick up 100 cents on the dollar after that, then you need $5,000. Shut up. I mean, you could figure that out. But if you need $56,000, it's a whole nother world, right?
Sure.
So little guy's number one priority. Okay, we're going to take care of our dadgum family before we take care of a bunch of debt goobs. Okay, so that's it. I mean, no question about where your priorities lie, my priorities lie on that. So I think before you decide whether you're going to have to stop, temporarily push pause like a pregnancy or like a potential job loss in the future, meaning you're not going to be working your baby steps. You're going to push pause and pile up cash because freaking hurricane's coming and we need a storm shelter. And it's very predictable. We know right where that thing is, So, but the trick is this: we don't stop on vague worries of, and a surgery is not a vague worry. But if you just say, "Oh, he's got to have a surgery," well, okay, but what is the cost to you? That's what makes the decision. It's not that the surgery is going to happen. We're gonna do what we need to do for the little guy. So.
Right.
Yeah, let's get the insurance moved, and in that process, figure out what you're liable for out of pocket, what you're going to have to come up with, and then I would push pause. And matter of fact, I'd go ahead and push pause now, but give yourself then 30 days or 45 days to figure out, while you're piling up some cash, what your out of pocket's going to be with these insurance changes. And do you have to travel to Florida? Or are you going to pay the specialist to fly up to Idaho? I don't know. What's got to come out of your pocket that insurance is not going to cover? And we need that money before we push play again.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It was just one of those things of like, we have so much momentum, and I can see the...
Well,
like,
on the other hand, you got on the one side, you got all this momentum, but obviously you can't not take care of the kid. You know that.
Sure, yeah.
And so, and people tend to swing the other way, and they go, "Oh, we're having this surgery, so all bets are off," and then you figure out that they're $5,000 out of pocket, and basically from a financial perspective, not an emotional perspective, but from a financial perspective, they were being drama queen, and they should have just kept plowing. Because if you got $5,000 out of pocket, you budget that between now and next year, and you keep plowing, right?
Right, yeah, because with the increased income, we're anticipating having about $5,000 a month to be able to throw onto debt. It's going to be pretty substantial.
Well, and so you're just going to, in your budget, be ready for $5,000. If you got $5,000 or $10,000, you can handle that. But if it's $50,000 or $60,000 you're looking for out of pocket, then we're going to have to stop and get ready to take care of little guy.
Right.
This is how you do it. That's the critical thinking process that you're going to use to get at this. So that's very cool. Good. I'm glad you're there to take care of him. I'm glad he's got a dad and mom like he has. That's pretty cool. Little guys are, man, they're tough. We've certainly, with team members, we've got about 1,000 folks working here, and with all the financial coaching over all these years, we've seen some situations with the babies where your heart is in your throat, your stomach's in your throat, and you still have to make good, solid decisions that you don't lose your mind and go completely off the rocker and just check out. What happens is people, they just, okay, I can't emotionally deal with the money piece and all of this stress with my baby being sick, and so I'm just going to work on the baby being sick, and I'm going to let all the money stuff go into the toilet. And see, then that makes a bigger mess. So what you have to do is you have to reserve a little bit in your tank to make sure you're dealing with the money stuff, so that you're there emotionally and financially for the needs of the child. It's tough, man. That's tough. That's heartbreaking. This is The Ramsey Show.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
One of the great joys of my life are the young men and young women that have passed through these doors at Ramsey and have gone on to become big, hairy deals after they left here. And Andres Gutierrez is one such story. He was with us for a period of time, was the Spanish or Mexican, he called himself, I'll let him say that, personality, working with the Latino and the Spanish community. And he felt a call to go out on his own, and we felt like God was confirming that. And so we not only released him, but helped him do that. Set him free and helped him line the nest as he got started, and that was fun to watch. And then all of our Spanish initiatives are all now directed at Andres Gutierrez. He broadcasts a radio show out of San Antonio, Texas now that is on, I guess, about 50 radio stations, right?
Yep.
And so he's going to come back and hang out with us, and coming through Nashville to hang out. We've been friends a long, long time and have worked together and fought the same fight together, and always good to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping in.
Dave, it feels like I'm at Disneyland being here. You know what? Seeing old friends, being here in 2009, you just had this thing in your heart to say, let's really help the Hispanic community. Let's get a Spanish communicator. And I remember taking that call, and it wasn't easy because we had to transition the family over here, this business that we were building. But you told me something, that has stayed in my heart since then. You said, you'll know, you'll have, you taught me about God's peace, and the decision that you can look back and now 10 years later, I can look back and say, you know what, that was the right decision.
Yeah.
As much change that came into our families, looking back and what's happening now, with this message, being communicated to the Hispanic community, it was the right choice.
Yeah. So if you need any of my books in Spanish, they're all there. If you need Financial Peace University, 6 of the lessons are there in Spanish, and they're distributed by us and also by Andres, because he is the star on the stage, because I speak a little broken Spanglish at best. So last thing you need is some gringo like me trying to instruct you if you're in the Latino community. But there's an awakening in that community. There always has been this tremendous need. We knew that when we brought you on. You've known that all along. You were in the financial services business before you came with us. The need in the Latino community is very pronounced to learn how to handle money. And it's not. I mean, it's true in Anglo community too, but there's something a little different here.
Well, I'm proud to tell you and let everybody know that the book that I wrote became, a #1 Amazon bestseller. And just recently hit the #2 position, not in personal growth or self-help, but in the entire universe of Spanish books. And somebody asked that question. I said, why? How is it that a financial book that they've never made it into the top 100? Why is it that this, book made it to? And I think there is an awakening. I think just people listening to this message, which, by the way, is not 1 year old. I mean, I came here, in 2009. So we've been at it in this dogfight for a long time. And I think just repeating the message. And now I think what's really happening, Dave, is the stories, that there's so many families that have heard this message that are now debt-free, mortgage debt-free, investing for the first time. See, something that I learned about as a financial advisor is that, in the English-speaking community, there's families that are in the second, third generation of investing. In Spanish, most of them is the first generation, so it's a new thing to visit with a financial advisor and open up an investment account and think long term. When you're in a middle income and sometimes lower, where a lot of the Hispanic community tends to be, you don't think long term. You think, I hear something, that is also very prevalent in every society. But what if I die tomorrow? I want to enjoy the money. And
YOLO.
That's changing.
Yeah. You only live once. You gotta live for Friday, not for long-term thinking. Yeah.
And that's changing. I think that's where the awakening is happening. And I truly believe that the Hispanic community is going to go from being on the bottom of the financial pole, because how aggressively they're absorbing the message and living it. Just as we know that they're hard workers, they're also really hard workers are turning their finances around.
Yeah, they're working for money. I mean, there's no question. I looked up, we're building a building next door, and you know who was not laid off or who was not sitting at home during COVID, who was over there working? It's Hispanic crews.
Yep.
I mean, they were working all the time, just like they always have, and
they're getting paid really well.
Yeah, and it's all during COVID. I mean, and so how did the community fare during COVID? Do you feel like?
I'm taking the calls on the radio show and everybody was so happy just to hear these calls of people calling in and saying, you know what, I just want to thank you for teaching this stuff, because my husband was laid off, and it became like a vacation. He needed the time off, and because we're debt free, because we have money in the bank and everything, but that's a few. Most of the Hispanic community, were able to keep, their job, and just going, because there's such a big need, and
fall in the category of essential workers.
Essential, exactly.
Which, by the way, if you're not essential, I'm not sure what you're doing, but
I think everybody's.
I kind of feel like I'm essential, but I might be wrong. Oh my gosh! So the radio show is doing well. I mean, you've been doing it a long time, and so it's proven out now. And what changes have you seen over 10 years? Just the more the stories are coming in, the fruit of the message going out, coming back?
I think the calls are different. For many years, it was like, how do I get out of a mess? How do I get out of a mess? I'm in a mess, I'm in a mess, I'm in a mess. Now I'm hearing from people that are big fans of the show that say, you know what, today, all the calls were about people prospering. Like, okay, I'm there now, talk to me about investing. Talk to me about, just growing, this net worth that is happening. So, I think that's where the big change is. Yeah, I mean, there's always new listeners, and there's always people that are, finding the show struggling financially. Mm-hmm. But there's so many more calls today about people just really growing their net worth and prospering, and their lives are completely turned around.
Andres Gutierrez is my guest, and you can check him out online if you're looking for a Spanish version of what we do around here with the money piece, and he'll help you out, and his message will help you out on how many radio stations nowadays? About 50?
Close to 50.
Yeah, right at 50 radio stations all around America. A lot of Spanish radio is a big segment for those of you that didn't know that. In the radio world, it's a big deal. It's a moneymaker for the radio stations.
Because there's not as much competition.
Yeah, and it's pure, that's for sure. So you're working on a new book. The first book did really well, as you said. It's called what? Let's give it a plug.
Transforma tus finanzas en 30 días. Transform your finances in 30 days. Okay. And I truly believe people that find these principles that fast, they can turn their their financial life.
Certainly
the next book is the answer to, like, now what? Okay, I'm there, and it's the title that's in my heart right now is Mi Primer Millón, My First Million. Mm-hmm. How to get to that, because there was a guy that said, Andres, I'm going after my second million. I said, oh, really? Congratulations. Said, well, I didn't start with the first one because they say that's the hardest one. So I'm gonna just jump off to this, and they say the second one comes a lot faster. I said, no, you gotta
you
go
don't
after
get to skip one.
You don't get
not
to skip it.
how this works.
Yep.
So when do you think that'll come out?
We think by the late fall.
Okay.
That's where we're at right now. That's I'm still finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Writing. I have whole outline, everything, stories and everything. So I'm just being I'm busy, Dave. I have to make time. I can only do it in the morning. I have to get up early in the morning because otherwise, super busy throughout the day.
I understand. I just finished one that's coming out in January, and I finished it last week. I feel like I got my term paper turned in. Oh, that writing deadlines will get you. But it's good. Very good. Very good stuff. Well, I'm proud of you. Proud of you, my friend. Good stuff. Andres Gutierrez. Be sure and check him out online and spread the word to your Spanish-speaking friends and relatives that there is help in the Latino market. He's there to serve you. And he's a great young man and a good friend of this, of all things Ramsey, and certainly a good friend personally. We love you, brother.
Same here, Dave. Thank you very much.
Andres Gutierrez. Be sure and check it out. This is The Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Jacob and Andrea are with us. Hey, guys, how are ya?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, we're doing
good. Hey, John.
Welcome, welcome. And John Deloney, Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. So you guys are with us from where? Where did you fly in from?
From Los Angeles, California.
All right, all the way to Nashville. So transcontinental debt-free scream.
Yes.
Love it. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $215,000.
Wow, and how long did that take?
48 months.
Whoa, you're kicking it.
Wow. Yes.
And your range of income during that time?
We started at $110,000 and ended at about $160,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I am a CPA and a full-time professor at the moment.
And I'm a project manager.
Cool. Wow. So what kind of prof are you?
Accounting.
Accounting?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Very cool. Good for you guys. And great increase in your income, and all of this in 4 years, about $50,000 a year paid off. That's radical.
Yeah.
In 2015, that means you paid off a one-bedroom apartment there in Los Angeles, huh?
We wish, yeah.
We wish.
26 square feet.
27 square feet. That's right.
Yeah. I love it. Way to go, guys. So what kind of debt was the 215?
So $5,000 was credit cards, $25,000 was a car loan, and $185,000 was student loan debt.
Wow.
Whoa.
And so what was the student loan debt associated with? Your master's in accounting, maybe?
His
No,
bachelor's.
My bachelor's in marketing.
Your bachelor's in marketing.
Yes.
I had
Paid dearly for a bachelor's in marketing.
Yeah, I had paid off about $80,000, my parents and I, before we got married. So
Gotcha.
my debt was already taken care of before.
How long you been married?
It'll be 5 years in August.
Okay, so after we get married, Andrea, the accountant, says, Jacob, next 48 months, we're doing this. And tell me how this happened, really. That's my guess.
Yeah, I was secretly terrified while we were dating that we would just be in debt forever because I knew how compound interest worked.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't quite understand how compound interest works.
Yeah, and I just thought we would be in debt for 10 or 15 years and wasn't sure how it would all work out. But yeah, I was sitting in class one night during my master's program wondering, we're paying $1,500 in rent. I wonder if we could get a really dinky condo and pay that in a mortgage payment. So I went home and I Googled, your name came to mind from my childhood, and I Googled, what does Dave Ramsey say about having student loan debt and getting a mortgage?
Uh-oh.
And we found a video of you where many people were calling that hour that had large amounts of student loan debt and were not paying it off in a timely manner.
And I wasn't nice.
You said something to the effect of, I'm about to go into orbit. And we just kept watching videos that night and created a spreadsheet. And I think within a couple hours, I was able to glean that we could pay it off probably in about 5 years. Mm-hmm. And for the first time, I thought, we can do that. Yep. I've always thought we would just be in debt for probably till our kids go to college. And so we were fired up from the first night that there would be an end to this burden for us.
Hope is a powerful thing.
Absolutely.
And so is a spreadsheet in the hands of an accountant, right?
Yes.
Well, it gives you hope. I mean, that's the way people like Andrea and me, we find it in the numbers.
Yes.
We can look down and go, oh, I can do this. That's hope.
Yes.
You know, that's hope. That's versus I'm going to be stuck in it forever. I'm terrified.
And
hopelessness, right?
If we had paid the minimum payments over 30 years, we would have paid over $400,000 for one bachelor's degree. Wow. And we just thought, we do not want to forfeit that much of our hard-earned money over 10 years of our marriage, 20 years of our marriage, when it is what it is, so let's deal with it as soon
Get
as
on with
possible.
it. Game on, baby. Here we go.
That's
All right.
incredible, guys.
All right.
So good.
Jacob, what you immediately you're looking at that with her and you're going, okay, let's do it.
No, yeah, it made sense to me immediately. I think that hope you speak of, it just clicked in my mind. I remember very clearly thinking, great, it's done. Like, it is done in my mind. It's just a matter of us working this plan.
Oh, I like that.
Awesome.
And so I was like, all right, let's go. And so it was great.
Bring it. Let's
Yeah.
go. Game on. Bring
Yeah.
on the pain. Let's do it. Here comes the beans and rice and beans. We're going to live on nothing. We're going to get this done. And you did.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys turned it up hot.
So
You
Yeah.
got
how
after
did this
it.
help your marriage?
Oh, you know what? It's been awesome for our marriage. You know, we've really appreciated how budgeting and just the monthly conversations, but having this goal that we were both hacking at and just dedicating our lives to for 4 years has really brought us together really closely in our marriage, and it's been wonderful. It was a great way to start us off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never really had a fight about money because we both knew the direction we were pulling in together.
Yeah.
We both knew the budget tells us whether we can do that thing or not. We have had to talk ourselves out of things at times. No, we shouldn't take that trip, or no, we should do this before that.
What was the hardest ledge that you had to talk each other or yourself off of? The one where you almost did stupid and you went, nope, not doing it.
That's a good question.
I feel like we're actually on more ledges now that we're out of debt and we have cash flow that we can do things that we've been putting off. But
Those are allowed.
Yeah.
You're paying cash. That's
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
That's not a bad thing. That's
Yeah.
why you did this.
yeah, there hasn't been too much
But I
along
mean,
the
you
way.
had like this trip that just you really, really, really wanted to go on that trip. While you were in the middle of this,
There was a trip where we had the opportunity to go with my grandfather to Glacier National Park
There you go.
and
Yeah.
camp in his Airstream trailer.
Oh,
That would have
yeah.
been fun.
And it felt like such a memorable,
It would be,
once
yeah.
of a lifetime thing to do with him. And so we just we told him, hey, we need to keep working. And that was about 6 months in. We were starting to get multiple incomes between us, and we knew we just had to keep the momentum going at that time.
because my theory is when something like that comes at you, and like you're going along pretty good, but then there's this thing, and it's a chance to get off the tracks, right? And then you make the decision on that one big thing a third of the way through, a quarter of the way through. Something happens psychologically,
It's just jet
probably.
fuel. That's right.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you go, all right, now it's game on. Now we're going to finish this. Because it's like that. It's like the temptation.
And in a year from now, that dinner that y'all just want to go on, that's not as important as missing camping with Granddad, right? So you've jumped over the biggest hurdle. That's incredible, guys.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, so well
It's awesome.
done. So well done. Yeah, once you did the hard one, then the rest of it's easy. That's what my theory is. And good for you. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Yeah, we got a couple things. First and foremost is budgeting. We use every dollar. We recommend it to everybody all the time. We love it. We have it always open, which is great. So that was super crucial for us in the first stages. The second thing is we really submitted ourselves to the baby steps. We just said the baby steps are proven to work, and right now I'm dumb, and so I need to submit myself to the wisdom of the baby steps and to Dave and all the advice you share through FPU and all the other resources you give. And so we did that, and so to us it was not really hard to grapple with that because we just submitted to the wisdom there. For sure that was present throughout all of the resources. The third thing is work. We work all the time, every single night. We would both be up until we go to bed because we're doing extra work. She was working at an accounting firm doing online remote bookkeeping. I was doing coaching. So just a ton of work. That's all we did for years. And then the last thing I would say is we just lived below our means. When I was graduating from college, I lived with a family from our church, and I lived in a small den. And we got married, and I told Andrea, hey, let's just live here. It's great. It'll work. She's like, it's not going to work. No, that's not going to happen. We weren't on the plan yet. So we moved out, had this cute apartment in Uptown Whittier, and it was $1,500 a month. And she had her whole experience with kind of, seeing the plan, and then said, you know what? let's go back to that house. And so we moved back in there.
Love it.
And it was great. We were there for 2 years and lived below our means. It was awesome.
Jacob and Andrea from Los Angeles, $215,000 paid off in 48 months, make it 110 to 160. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All glory to God. 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
There we go.
Yes.
Touchdown, baby. Woo! Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Imagine what your income could do for you if it wasn't all going to someone else in the form of credit card bills or student loans or car payments. How much different would your life look like? Well, it would. The life you pictured back when you used to still dream, it's possible. And it does not have to take as long as you think to get there. That couple paid off $215,000, and they did it in 48 months. That's a lot. And they did that in Los Angeles, where it's not cheap to live.
With children.
That's it. 2 babies. Financial Peace University is the class that's helped nearly 6 million people, really now about close to 10, learn the proven plan to get out of debt and build wealth. It's not enough to just learn the plan. You have to actually put it into action every day, and that's with the budgeting app, Every Dollar. You get Every Dollar, Financial Peace University, and a bunch of other stuff to help you do this, all in a Ramsey Plus membership. You can create a life where money works for you, not against you. It's time to ditch this debt fast. To start your free trial of Ramsey Plus, to get you into Financial Peace University and so on, text TRIAL to 33789. A free trial by texting TRIAL to 33789. So I was down at the lake house this weekend, and you don't know this about me, but when I was growing up, my dad is one of those guys that could fix anything. Mm-hmm. And so consequently, I learned to fix anything, or think I can. I automatically assume if I can take it apart, I can figure out how to put it back together, and it's going to work out, right? So the faucet's dripping at the lake house, and I fixed a bazillion faucets back in the day before they were the way they are now. Right. A whole different setup, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm taking this thing apart, and I'm going to figure out how to do this. And sure enough, I get about 3/4 of the way through it, and I can't get one thing. I can't figure out how to do it. And so what do? You go to YouTube, and there's always some goob on YouTube to show you how to do something, right? How to take a Delta faucet apart, right? So goob on Delta faucet thing is showing me how. But it occurred to me as I was doing that, is that such a simple thing? The concept psychologically is so simple, and there's something about money that makes people stupid and arrogant. So it did not occur to me that somehow I was deficit, that my self-esteem or my identity was damaged because I didn't know how to work an RF4268 Delta faucet.
Yes.
I just assumed I didn't know how to work it. Then when I found a guy that knew how to work it, I didn't argue with him.
Exactly.
I didn't go, well, how does this apply to me? Because I'm special and Delta faucets might work different for me. I just went, no, you doob. You don't know how to do it. Do what the guy says to do. Exactly. You don't need to reinvent this. The reason you're on YouTube asking him how to do it is because you don't know how to do it. It never occurred to me to have this existential argument about submitting myself to the instructions of a proven Delta faucet guy.
Right.
I just did what the flippy said to do, and guess what? I fixed the faucet. It was a simple thing. But as I'm doing all of this, I get this metaphor in my head that there's something about money that everybody goes, well, I'm special and really principles don't apply to me. The law of gravity, I can fly. It's just all this stupid arrogance. And I guess it's that way about behavior modification of a lot of things.
It's you and I were talking about
people do the same thing with health.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Everybody's got a it's gluten, it's lactose intolerance, it's there's some
everything.
Kind of it's an essential or non-essential oil.
I read
a
killer article the other day about how
and everybody's got their own freaking
MSG,
plan.
right?
MSG's killing us all. Yeah.
So hey, I was just thinking.
Why is it that there's some categories in our brain that we just go, well, I'm going to submit and do that, Delta Faucet. But when it comes to health, we're like, no, this guy, he's like skinny and he's got his act together. I'm just going to do what he says. No, I have to reinvent my own thing. But here I sit, with no indication that I have any knowledge of this.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that with Mr. Delta.
No, I think there's when we look at something mechanical, we think it's
that's
mechanical.
what it is.
And
Okay.
I think you nailed it. Relationships, health, money. And I'm in the middle of working on a project now, how do I tell somebody how to make a friend? And I feel so ridiculous to try to break that. You just make friends. And it's embarrassing now to be 40 and think, oh, I got to learn how to do this again, right? I think we've removed ourselves from understanding these things as basic skills. And that's all they are. And there are experts who can tell you. I also think the world's been clouded. Everyone's trying to sell you something. So who's the right and who's the this and who's the...
Yeah, but they're trying to sell you a faucet too.
That is true.
But it is mechanical. I think there's something about when it enters the realm of behavior, which relationships do, money does, health does.
There's something in our bodies that
we're just suddenly we just become arrogant,
or idiots.
I'm 350 pounds and I'm arguing with a guy who's $120 and chiseled.
Exactly.
And I'm like, dude, your body screams that you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're broke and you're having this argument with people who have led more people to become millionaires than anybody else on the planet, and you're going to argue with them.
Or you talk to your divorced parent.
And you live in your mother's basement, for God's sakes.
Yeah, you talk to your divorced parent and they're giving you relationship advice, or you talk to right. It's when it comes. Here's what it is. When it comes to health, relationship, we are so finely tuned to rejection that we will go to the great lengths, even they don't make sense, to get somebody to tell us that we're okay. And we'll go, okay, we'll just keep doing that. I just don't want to hurt, man, because then I got to deal with it. I'd rather just. I try to talk people into going to see a counselor. And they're like, why do I need it? And I just want to say, look at your life, man. Look at your relationships.
I don't know, 6 attempted suicides. Maybe
You
need help.
don't know what you're doing, and that's okay. There's a professional that will help you.
Yeah.
Right?
And I guess it is the messiness of it's not mechanical, it's relational. I think maybe that's the answer. I didn't think about it, but all I could think about while I was looking at that YouTube going, I'm going to do exactly what the guy says because he's the Delta Faucet guy. And I'm not going to try to go, oh, no, that won't work.
And he's not trying to trick you.
He wasn't selling me anything. If
he
sold me a Delta Faucet, I had to go buy the stinking thing to put in it, But, I mean, because I'm not going to replace the whole thing. I'm going to buy the little fake thing to fix it, right? The little cartridge.
Which is actually costing him some money in the long run, right? He's trying to help you.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, it's very interesting. There's an interesting dynamic that what they said reminded me of that a minute ago when he said, we had to submit. Yeah. That word is it's a
loaded word, man.
Man, it's like, oh, you're toxic. Oh,
but what if we could take skills in health and now the cutting edge in nutritional sciences? What makes your body feel right? Like what helps you sleep? Like if you look back on the day before and you were grumpy, you didn't sleep well, don't eat that. It's not a one size fits all for everybody, and it's nutrition folks are trying to grapple with what is that going to look like? How are we going to create a one thing, right? A one pyramid or one special thing? And they're just saying well, you can't. People are going to have to learn how to treat their body like a set of skills. Same with relationships. Same with education. Same with anything relational, right?
And I guess I guess I'm answering my own question, but it's just it does aggravate you that you go, you hire a personal trainer, they have a six-pack, you have a keg, don't argue with them. Don't argue with them. I mean, it's just, do what they said do.
Yeah.
And if to the extent you're not going to do that, you're not going to look like that.
Yeah.
So.
And either make peace with this
Yeah.
or Just do what they say.
Don't hire a trainer if you're not going to do it. I mean, why give them the money?
Yeah.
You know, I had one used to come to the house, and we've got this exercise room in the house, and Sharon's like, "You're the financial guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, you're making fun of me. What's the point here?" And she said, "Well, he's down there counting to 10 for you. You can't do that." I'm like, "That's not the point. It's a whole series of." Oh, I'm not even going to get into this. She said, "You can't count to 10 by yourself. That's all I'm saying."
I love Sharon in your life, man.
It's just like calling me out for paying a trainer. Oh, but yeah, there's something about finding a proven process. What he said in that debt-free scream, finding a proven process and being willing to submit yourself to it. That's what
unhooking your ego from it.
That's what you
and just follow the.
Nobody submits without unhooking their ego. I unhooked my ego because I couldn't fix the stinking faucet without Mr. Delta telling me how. I had to get an expert, show me the steps, submit to the steps. This is the Ramsey Show. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining me. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, an extremely popular and exploding podcast. The numbers are absolutely amazing. He is my co-host today. We're taking your calls about your life and your money. The Dr. John Deloney Show is all about dealing with mental health issues and relationships and boundaries and anxiety and all of these kinds of things. Be sure and check it out. It's an amazing show. It's a fun listen. It comes out on podcast here in the Ramsey Network. If you want to have a discussion with John, you can call in today at 888-825-5225. He'll be part of your answers all day. And, of course, you can also email him and be part of his show by being a caller on the show. Email askjohn@ramseysolutions.com or call and leave a voicemail, and producers will get back with you and put you on the show at 844-693-3291. John, what is the call that stands out in the last several weeks?
Oh, man.
You've had some pretty ridiculous ones.
Tough ones. Probably
you've had some scary ones, some sad ones, some funny ones.
The one that stood out the most is the woman who was married to a guy in recovery, and she came home and he had stepped in the bathroom and he had started using again, and she didn't know, and then she lost him, and just processing grief and that. Her guilt of what I should have done and I should have known, but I didn't, and what all those woulda, shoulda, couldas that comes when you lose somebody that you love, and what are the signs, and what does grief look like now, and that was a rich call, and she was open and honest, and
she's articulate too. I mean, she's a brilliant lady. I listened to the call, and it was her ability to articulate all the different angles and feelings and the whole of that whole grieving process of dealing, number one, living with an addict that was
hiding it from
her, was not acting out. To her knowledge, he had never been using while they were married.
Right.
It was all before, and then he had been dry, and then he relapsed and dies one night in OD. Right.
Yeah.
And that call was amazing.
And her ability to articulate what was happening, and yet. You know what it's like being in the ocean and thinking, I'm drowning. It doesn't stop you from drowning, right? That water still waves over you, and you're still bobbing up and down in the ocean. And so you got to ride it out, and it's hard and it's messy. But those are beautiful calls, and you walk alongside folks during hard moments, man. That's what the show's about.
And what's interesting is that we all learn something about ourselves, even though we've not been in that exact situation. We think, there's a little piece of that I wonder about inside my soul. Mm-hmm. There's a little piece of that over there. And when she said that thing, and so we all plug into that. It's not just watching her go through it. There is always when it's, all of your callers are that way. There's almost always something where I go, oh yeah, I get that.
When I used to do crisis work with the police department, and I'd show up to a scene that was just a mess and tough, I began a ritual when I got home, which was to stop in my kids' room, and it was usually 2, 3 in the morning. They have no idea I ever did this. But it was one of those moments that I'm not going to take one moment for granted. So I'd stop and open their door and just pray over my kids and just watch them breathe and sleep. And one, that helped me remember, like, I'm home now and I'm safe here. I just saw some stuff that was tough, but more importantly, I'm not going to take a minute for granted. So even if you aren't married to an addict, or you're not dealing with divorce, you're not dealing with trauma, everybody's got stuff. And yeah, you're exactly right. You take little bits and nuggets of it, and it just helps you breathe a little bit deeper.
All right, starting this hour off with Carrie in Columbia, South Carolina. Hi, Carrie, what's up?
Hi, nice to talk to y'all.
You too. How can we help?
Really quick before I tell you, yesterday, I was listening to y'all's podcast yesterday, and I started cracking up when y'all were talking about hiding your not sharing your income with your kids totally when they're young, because in South Carolina, all state employees' incomes over $50,000 are public domain online.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I hope my kids never learn that.
They will, Carrie.
They will now. You just told them. Yeah, that was helpful.
Well, at least I'll say we just moved back from overseas, so my oldest is language delayed and ESL student. So at least hopefully it'll slow down her Googling.
There we go. Just don't teach her how to spell Google.
So,
you'll be all right. Yeah. How can we help?
I have a question about retirement, and if you have time at the end, I'd love to squeeze in a car question too, but just depends. So both my husband and I'm with the state of South Carolina. He's with the city of Columbia. Supposedly we're supposed to have the same retirement options, but he's getting the runaround from his HR, and they've apparently never had to transfer someone out of the city system into the state system. We both have mandatory 9% contribution, but normally you have the 401k option or the pension option with the state, but the city's telling them they're not sure how to transfer him into the state program. So I'm trying to figure out, I know you say, if you have a pension that it's still, you still want to contribute the 15% into your own retirement that you control.
Well, that you put in.
If I do this, if he gets stuff in a pension, it'd be like a quarter of his income.
Yeah, no, that you put in. How much? You have a mandatory 9, right?
We both have a mandatory 9.
Okay, then you need 6 more, and then a little more because you don't control the 9, but not an entire 9.
What would you recommend? I don't, because obviously it makes no sense to go all the way up to 9 plus 15 on his.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do 15. I wouldn't do 15 on top of the 9 on either one. On either one.
6,
not on either one. I wouldn't. But the what I would say is that 9, you don't have as much control over it, and so I'm going to discount it some, but you decide how much. I mean, you can discount it 3, you can discount it 4, and then that makes you're going to count 5 of it, and that means you need to put 10 more in somewhere. Something like that. It's just because that's the weak part of your plan. It's weaker. You're going to make less on that 9 than you are on the other 6 if you just put 6 on top of it to get to 15. And so I'm going to beef it up a little bit. So instead of 6, you could say I'm going to put in 10, and you'd be in really, really good shape. That's probably what I would do, something like that. But that means at that point that you're actually putting in 19% instead of 15%. Whoopty-dupty. You're still going to get there. You're going to be fine. You have plenty of room in your budget. Once you're at baby step 4 to do that, you're not really going to run into a problem. But it just has to do with the portion that you put in and you do not have control over is a weaker result than the other portion that you have control over. And so I'm not going to count it completely, but I'm going to count it somewhat towards your 15% baby step 4.
And when the HR department won't help you out,
get up in their grill.
There you go.
Yeah, you gotta be really assertive and just go, this is not okay. You need to get this answered. You need to fix this. It's not okay. I'm not going to be a jerk, but I'm also not going to go away. I'm going to be your problem, so fix your problem. That's how bureaucrats act, right? There we go. This is The Ramsey Show.
Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless.
I don't know if you guys have heard the rumor, but the cost of college might have gone up like a lot in the last 20 years. Yeah. If you're going to send a kid to college, you have to have a plan, or you're sending a kid to college to get deep in student loan debt, one of the two. Neither one are a very good plan. So you need a plan where you're saving money with a plan. Something like an ESA, an educational savings account, a 529. These are accounts that let you invest after-tax dollars, and they grow tax-free. Like a Roth for college kind of thing? Yeah, very nice. The differences between the ESA and the 529 are important. They have to do with the age, the income restrictions, investment options. What's the right thing for you? Well, you need to sit down with a good financial advisor to help you with your kids' college planning. Duh. Just like you would for your retirement plan. And so we recommend guys and gals around America that we have very carefully vetted who are world class in this space. They're called SmartVestor Pros. And if you click SmartVestor at Ramsey Solutions, you'll be able to connect with one in your area. It'll drop down a list of them and you pick which one you want. That's pretty cool. And you can text INVEST to 33789. SmartVestor Pros are trustworthy, Ramsey trusted investing guides. That's INVEST. Text INVEST to 33789. Jeremiah is in Atlanta. Hi, Jeremiah. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Got a question. Right now, so been listening to you, I guess, for about a year now. Started the baby steps, and I'm probably, I think right now I'm about $6,000 away from only having my mortgage left to pay.
Good.
But besides that, I had next year I'm set to be at about 55 for my salary. A friend of mine who has done very well for himself and owns his own business has offered me a job that could potentially double my income. If it was a family member, I pretty sure I would have no issue saying, I appreciate it, no thanks, because I don't want, I really don't want to work with family, so that would, kind of have any sort of animosity if anything went south. But with it being, not a family, it's somebody I've known for about 15 or 20 years, is it a smart choice, or do I leave it where I'm at?
What does potentially make double the income mean?
So, in passing, we were talking, and he said, "Hey, quit what you're doing now. Just come work for me." He said, "I got a 6-figure job for you."
And that's how serious the conversation's been.
That's about it. So,
okay.
I mean, I know.
So let's get something straight.
Went and sat down and
let's get something straight. This does not work if he's giving you a job, paying you 6 figures, and you don't know how to do a 6-figure job. That's called your friend giving you money for free, and that's not going to work.
Right.
Okay? So what I've got to understand, if I'm you, step one is to figure out, okay, I'm going to be doing something that is worth 6 figures to his company, and that he would pay someone else 6 figures to do the same job, and I'm able to do that job. Okay? So if he's asking you to do something you can't do, then you're going to disappoint. This is going to blow up. If he wouldn't pay someone else 6 figures to do the job, then this is going to blow up because it's charity. It's not a job.
Or if you hate it, if he's bringing you on to be a salesman and you hate sales, eventually you're going to have to disappoint him, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not good at it. I hate it. Or he's not going to pay someone else that. So I got to understand what those details are. Right now, it sounds like a very, very off-the-cuff comment, not a job offer. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go back, to him and say, okay, were you serious? What would I be doing, and why would I be worth that? Okay. Now let's take it a step further then and give you some guidelines of how this works when mentally healthy people, emotionally healthy people, spiritually healthy people work together. They can be family. They can be friends. Some of my best friends on the planet work on my team here. And and they were friends before, some of them. Some of them became friends while they were working here. I've just got unbelievable respect for them. I love them. They're just good people. They're great at their jobs. Everything's good. Okay? Now, how can you do that? How can you work with family, which you said you wouldn't do, or something near to family, which is a 15-year-old friend? The way you do that is this thing called just mutual respect and clear roles. When you work for him, he's the CEO and you're the whatever it is your title is. You're not friends in the sense of he doesn't owe you something because of your friendship. He owes you fairness and dignity, clarity, guidance, support. That's what a leader owes anyone that works on their team if they're a quality leader. And you owe him that you're game on, you're not mailing it in, you're not backstabbing him, you're not half-butting it as an employee because, anywhere else you worked, you get fired for doing that. And if your friend fires you for doing that, then he did that because he was your friend, not because he's a mean old boss. Because you're a half-butt employee. So if you go and you do your part at work and he does his part at work, and when you're at work you wear the hat of, he wears the hat of boss and you wear the hat of team member, then when you take those hats off and later on you're hanging out and you got 2 hats on that say friends, then you could treat each other differently there. But you don't get a pass at Ramsey because your last name's Ramsey. As a matter of fact, you kind of got to bring it more. And you don't get a pass at Ramsey because I've known you 40 years, because I've got friends that I've 40 years I've known them, and they're on this team and have been on this team 15 or 20 years of the 40 years I've known them. But they still don't get a pass. And by the way, I don't get a pass either. I don't get to be a jerk to them just because we've been friends for years, so they have to take extra crap off of me as the boss. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So treat people the right way as the leader, as the employee, and then you don't have to worry about whether you're friends or not, and you can still be friends.
Right.
A good friend would sit down and tell you if you were half-butting it.
Right.
So how real is this fly-by job offer?
It's pretty real. I'm pretty sure I could head over there to the house and talk to him about it today.
Yeah.
I would do that. I think you need some relational clarity and you need some clarity for your soul, because you're on a financial trajectory. You're working hard, and the allure of another $50,000 feels really good. Get some clarity on that, man.
It feels great.
Yeah.
Get some clarity on that.
Well, it could be that you're underpaid where you are and you built your value up in the market, and that, you could land this type of a position somewhere else as well. That's possible.
And it could be that he's going to say, yeah, all you got to do is move 48 cars a month and you can make $100,000, and you could say, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that, or I want to do that. Yeah, so number one, find out and firm up that you're going to bring value that's equal that. Number two, you're going to like the type of position. And then the last part is that whole last diatribe I just did was you can work with friends. You can be friends. I heard one guy say you could never be friends with people that you lead. Of course you should be friends with people you lead. That's stupid. Right. If you're a good leader, You should love people enough when you're leading them to be friends with them. But that does not mean that I can't hold you accountable. It doesn't even mean I can't fire you. It means I will fire you. I fired some of my best friends for different reasons. I had some of my best friends quit, and we remain friends in most cases, depending on what is going on there. But it's not that friends can't work together. That's not true. I think mentally healthy and balanced friends can.
I think that is more of an indictment of what friendship has come to mean. Which means
entitlement.
I'm just gonna make you feel good and say you go, Dave. And
you go be you, man.
I'm never gonna tell you something hard. I'm never gonna hold you accountable. I'm never gonna
demand excellence out of you. Yeah, friendship does all those things, even if you're not on my team.
Real friendship does. That's right.
I'll guarantee you, man. I got men in my life that hold me to that, and I hold them to that.
Heck yeah.
And they don't. They're not on my payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real friendship.
That's exactly right.
Tough love. No, honey, it's love.
It's just love, man. Yeah.
This is The Ramsey Show. Back to the Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Anselmo and Catalina are with us, and they are in Colorado Springs, and it says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Much.
Very cool. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $68,000 in 12 months.
Wow. Ooh. And your range of income during that time?
We started out about $200,000 and ended up with $220,000.
Cool. What do you guys do for a living?
We work in human resources for our Department of the Army.
Both of you?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for your service. Yeah. Very cool. Well done.
Man, working in the Department of Human Resources for the Army, I bet you two have some great dinner time conversations, huh? Y'all have some stories, huh?
Man. Dr. D. We try to keep it out of the dinner table, but man.
Yeah, stories you can't tell anyone else, but somebody's got to hear them. I'm telling you.
Hear this one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's fun.
And real quick, Dave and Dr. D, I just want to say it's an honor, and thank you for having us on. We truly appreciate it.
Well, we're honored to have you. We're so proud of you. Way to go. What kind of debt was the $68,000?
We had a little mixture of a couple of things. We had one credit card. We had two TSP loans and IRS debt, and also two that fall under the heading of stupid tax. I owed the Department of VA, and also I had a debt to the ex-wife.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool. So how long you two been married?
We've been married for 3 years.
All right. So what happened that got you guys so fired up about a year ago where you go, boom, 68 in 1 year, mic drop?
So we started out 3 years ago. Two of those years we were doing Dave-ish, and so we actually started out with about $98,000 in debt, and then we just Dave-ish, and we just paid $30,000 in 2 years. And then last year, just looking at the kids and just looking at everything around me, we decided to say, hey, we need to do better for our kids, for our family, and we just started dreaming and picturing what our future looks like, our retirement looks like, and what we want to do for our kids.
Wow. So just looking at them, you said, okay, game on. We're going to go Ramsey full. We're not doing any more ish.
Yes, exactly. we have to do better. We had to do better, not just for us, but for them as well.
Yeah. So what did that conversation sound like between the two of you when you said, okay, I want to turn up this heat now to boiling?
So the conversation started, just sitting on the couch and we're looking at the kids just playing around, and it's like, we have to do better. Our parents, coming from, where I come from, they sacrifice, and it's now time for us to go ahead and pick up the torch and do better for them and do better for them to give them the best chance of success.
Yeah. Wow.
And nothing hurts worse than writing a check to an ex-wife every month either, right?
Oh, man, that hurt my feeling every month.
So,
man,
so that's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. So, where was you said your family came from? Where?
Well, I was born in Dominican Republic, and we came to the States back in the 90s.
Okay. All right. Wow. Very cool. Well, congratulations, you guys. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You guys are amazing.
Sticking with the budget, making sure that you have a partner who is stronger and more stubborn than you are.
I think that was a compliment.
Yeah, that was a fantastic backhanded wife compliment. Yeah, he's strong.
It's definitely a compliment because I couldn't do it by myself, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
And then, and she'd balance me because I was the type, how you call it, Dave, a type what, and I'm of the mindset that we could get all the grocery for the month in about $200.
So she loosened you up a little bit back to logic, huh? But still, we get her done at $68,000 in 12 months. It's very, very impressive, you guys. What was the hardest part of this for you guys?
The hardest part. I mean, we did our budget, and then we got on the same page, and that helped out a lot. And it was just that we were willing to do things. We were willing to work overtime if they were offering. We're doing to do anything and everything possible. But the biggest change, and something that I've learned from you, is not what you're willing to do, is what you're willing to give up. And so we ended up giving, eating out, family vacations, the shopping, and so we started doing those things.
Well, the kids also made sacrifices, too. We sat down and had conversation with them of, what our goal was for getting out of debt and, things that we can do in the future if we are out of debt. And they all got on board, and they were, I wouldn't say happy, but they were willing to give up, big birthday parties for just, stay-at-home celebrations.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're old enough. I mean, they're showing pictures of them on YouTube. It's a beautiful family. But they're old enough that they could understand if you live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. They understand we're going to pay a price for a while, and then that's going to open up things for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sends a message across the country to all parents of kids that sometimes your kid doesn't have to have $1 million birthday party, and they're still going to live. Everybody's going to still make it, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Good for you guys.
Way to go, you guys. So proud of you. Well, we got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you, because that's definitely what you've done. You've completely changed your legacy and are creating a new, beautiful one. And it's powerful. Very well done. And a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody and help them start their journey. You can pay it forward. Now, what are your kids' names and ages?
So we have Maya, who's 13. Blake is 11. Derek is 10. Jace is 8. And Olivia is 6.
All right.
That was impressive, Mama. That was really good, man.
Oh, I have a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
That's
On
what
the radio,
figured.
I might get nervous and say the wrong date. Yeah, I can do that. I've been known to do that. Yeah.
Dr. D, you come help me babysit, man, anytime.
No chance, brother. You are on your own. You are on your own, my man. I got 2, and I don't even know what day it is.
Be careful what you wish for, brother.
That's right.
They might never be the same. Oh, fun. All right, here we go. So it's Anselmo and Catalina. $68,000 paid off in 12 months, making $200 to $220. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah! Might have been a little military in that.
I was going to say, they screamed that one from the floor.
I love it.
They brought it.
Bring it. Yeah. That's fun.
We can eat $200. Figure it out. There's 11 of us. It's cool. I love it, man.
Oh. Well, there's all kinds of data that shows us that, I mean, he's second generation. He was born in Dominican Republic, but came here as a child. But people that come to America because it's the land of opportunity, the land of the free and the brave, and they do so legally. I need to pronounce that carefully. That there's all kinds of data that shows that they have either a 4 up to a 10 times greater chance of becoming a millionaire than one of us who just kind of feel like, little man can't get ahead. You know, stupid butt stuff like that, right? Instead, they're like, game on!
There's so much opportunity.
You will eat nothing this week. You will eat nothing so that you can eat anything later. That's all right, man. There you go. Man.
What studs. Awesome, Anselmo, Catalina.
This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Mike is with us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hi, Dave. Thank you for taking my call. Hi, Dr. John. I recently applied for life insurance, term life insurance, and was denied due to my health issues. I'm on baby step 2, and I'm trying to figure out how I can take care of my family in case something were to happen to me.
What's the nature of your health issues?
Anxiety, depression.
And they denied you for that?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Some of the medications I'm on is pretty dangerous.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, bipolar diagnosis or a depression diagnosis is harsh in life insurance world.
Wow.
How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Just trying to make ends meet right now. I'm working 2 jobs, with gazelle intensity. So.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, you're plowing through. That's hard.
Yeah.
How long you been fighting this depression monster?
Oh, about 20 years now, I'd say. Ever since college.
Mm-hmm.
You got good support around you now?
I do.
Good.
I do. I have a good church family and a loving wife.
Awesome. Do you have little ones?
I do. 2 girls.
Very cool.
Well, it's a fight worth fighting, brother. It's a hard one, but you're a hero to keep plugging, and that's what you're doing. To go back to the technical answer, if it is a little bit like a more I don't know how to phrase this, but it's more like a health issue, a medical issue. These are both. This is both. It's mental health, but it's let's just say cancer. Okay, with cancer, used to that they wouldn't write you if you ever had a cancer diagnosis. You could just forget life insurance for almost forever. Okay, nowadays it is staged, and you can get life insurance if you have had cancer. If you had it 20 minutes ago, no. Most time, depending on the type of cancer, usually no. But 20 months ago, now we're starting to talk about it. 5 years ago, definitely you're start to be insurable in today's world. And the same is true as you get measurable, proven progress with your therapy and with your pharmacology on the depression. So the more you get the other side of this, the more insurable you are, always. Okay, and I think John will agree with me that depression is not a chronic lifetime illness that has to stay with you until death. Agreed?
Yeah, depression can be messy. If you've had it, you're going on 15, 20 years.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of care are you under now?
I just see my medical doctor. He's the one that fills the prescriptions for me.
Okay.
So I haven't actually reached out and sought the help of a licensed psychologist or anything.
I would recommend doing that. As Dave mentioned, being intentional about what does life look like 2 years, 5 years, 7 years. What does a path of healing look like, not a path of sustaining? Does that make sense?
It does.
I would love to see you partner with your doctor and go see a local psychologist, local counselor who would walk alongside you and begin to learn some strategies.
Rather than just simply living in the dull, medicated state. Mm-hmm. Anyway, then how do we cover your family in the meantime, which is the reason for your call? You're getting all this unsolicited advice, but welcome to the show. So, but anyway, how do we actually get you covered? There's a couple things you can do. What you're looking for are life insurance plans that do not require medical. They don't require any kind of a thing. They're much more expensive typically. An example would be, do you have a home mortgage?
I do.
You can call your mortgage company and they will sell you mortgage life insurance without any medical questions. It just pays off the mortgage in the event you die. That's a big one. But it's about 5x of what normal term is. It's more expensive, and so I don't recommend it, but I do recommend it for someone who's uninsurable, and you are right now. Okay?
Okay.
Number two, there's a lot of the other non-medical checked life insurances are usually come in small doses, like $10,000 or $20,000 with your bank through your checking account. It's almost like this little gimmick type policies that you get. But there are no medical checks on them, and it's perfectly legal. There's nothing immoral or improper about you taking that and taking that type of insurance, knowing that you have this, that you're dealing with depression. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So I would go gather up a handful of those and get the mortgage life, and then that gets your family to where they're at least, in quotes, air quotes, okay. You're probably not going to get fully insured doing all that. It's going to be too expensive, but you can get some stuff on you, and they're not going to be left high and dry, so to speak. Of course, the last thing we're going to do, in addition to you getting some healing and getting the other side of this, is you're going to build wealth to where you don't even need insurance. And that's what we all do. We all have this goal of having enough wealth that if we were to pass away, then our spouse, our kids is going to be okay with the money that we have without any life insurance. That's being self-insured. And so that's starting to work your plan. Have you guys been working the baby steps at all? Have you been working the debt snowball or working with your every dollar budget or anything like that?
Yes, we're currently on baby step 2.
Okay. And what are you plugged into of our stuff?
I have Ramsey Plus.
Okay.
And I have a few of your books, actually.
Okay, so you and your wife can go through Financial Peace University. You can get in the Every Dollar experience together, and you guys can accelerate this get-out-of-debt plan and move towards, because the less debt you have, the more money you have, the less need for insurance there is. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. Thank you.
So we're going to move you that direction. In the meantime, a stopgap are some of these insurance plans that you can get without medical, including mortgage life would be the big one of the bunch. Rochelle is with us in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hi, Rochelle. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
So I'm calling about an inherited retirement plan. My mom passed away a few months ago, and my 2 children, ages 8 and 10, are among the beneficiaries of that account. In speaking with the financial institution, they won't even speak with me or let me view anything about this plan without providing a court-issued guardianship. I spoke with a lawyer about doing that, and they're kind of advising me to maybe not go that route because they said it can be expensive and a lot of paperwork, and there's annual reports that have to be completed. So I'm
how
just
much?
wondering
I'm sorry. How much money's in this account?
They would each receive $18,000.
Oh, I wouldn't screw with it. But I would call back the financial institution and climb all up in them, because last time I checked, their mother is their guardian.
That's so ridiculous.
Yes.
What
I asked
buttholes?
about providing a birth certificate.
Yeah. Like, they came from me. That makes me I'm their legal guardian, you doobs. I'm about to jack you up with some lawyers. You want some lawyers in your life? We're about to send some to you in a matter of principle. Matter of fact, there's $18,000 in this account. I think I'm going to spend $36,000 proving my point. Just have a little fun with them on the phone, and I think you might bully them back, because they're bullying you, is what they're doing, because they don't want you to take the money out of their stupid little bank. That's what it is.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah,
okay.
Anyway, but I don't know that it'll work, but I would have some fun trying it, because it pisses me off hearing it, and it's not even me.
Can you imagine looking at a bereaving mother?
Can you imagine looking at me and saying, you're not your kid's guardian?
Oh, my gosh. How could you have no soul?
Hillbilly activated, okay? Right there. That's it.
It's so
Game
ridiculous.
On. Oh, my God.
I just lost my mom. Sorry. Prove it that those are your kids.
Yeah, sorry.
Idiots.
You're not your children's guardian.
Idiots.
Because we are the bank.
I'm not even a hillbilly, and I'm active.
What is that? What is that? Mary Poppins Bank? Remember the old bank in Mary Poppins? That's what that sounds like.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer for The Ramsey Show. This episode is over, but if you heard about an event, product, or service and didn't have a chance to write it down, don't worry. We list everything you've heard about during this episode in the podcast show notes section, or head to theramseyshow.com. Thanks for listening.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. He's host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, and you can participate in that show online as a podcast whenever you like. Be sure and do that. And you can call us right now at 888-825-5225. The Dr. John Deloney Show is all about mental health, all about anxiety, all about relationships and boundaries and dealing with crazy relatives. And, well, everybody's got those. And and if you think you don't have one, that means you're it.
It's you.
So there you go. Anyway, that's where it works. So anyways, hey, we all deal with life and people, and that's why his show is so informative, inspiring, and downright entertaining. All right, Scott's with us. Scott's in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, Scott, what's up in your world?
All good things.
Well, I'm glad, sir. How can we help today?
Yeah. Well, my wife and I were wondering, we want to shut down any access to our credit because we're debt-free and we don't want to apply for credit, and we don't want anybody to apply for credit under our names. And how do we go about doing that?
You freeze your credit. And it's usually a small fee, $20 or something, and you can freeze it. There are 3 credit bureau reporting agencies, and you need to freeze it with all of them. TRW, TransUnion, and Experian, and that's the 3. I have frozen all of ours, and we froze all of our children's when they were children. To my knowledge, they have not unfrozen them for any reason because they don't borrow money either. Anytime you want your credit checked, it cannot be checked. You would have to pay another fee to unfreeze it, temporarily let it be checked, and then freeze it again. Okay?
All right.
No one
works.
can look at your credit, and your credit cannot be sold to anyone because these credit bureau reports sell your name. That's where you get a lot of this crap in the mail. They don't sell your details, but you can buy. I can go to Experian and I can buy people that fit a certain demographic outline of income or credit type or whatever,
Zip code.
and I can buy blocks of those to market to you if I want. You're off of that if you freeze your credit because no one can access it. Now, it does not keep you from having your identity stolen. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's pretend that some doob gets your Social Security number through one of the 9 million different hacks that have happened out there, and people got, all of Target's information, all of whoever's information. They end up somehow with your Social Security number. And they take your Social Security number and they apply for a visa at Bank of America. The big banks, when they're approving a credit card application, only check the credit on 2 out of 10 apps. They automatically approve the other 8. And so if your credit, if you're one of those 8 and they don't even check your credit, then the thief can open an account in your name, and all of a sudden it's an identity theft situation. You're not liable for the debt because it's a fraudulent transaction, but it's a hassle to get out of, and that's why we recommend Xander Insurance Identity Theft, and I carry that on myself, my kids, and all of my employees. I furnish it as an employee benefit because of this kind of stuff that's out there. And so these idiot banks will actually open an account and loan people money without even pulling the credit bureau report because on average they come out. It works out for them, but it's just it
doesn't work out for
it doesn't work out for you.
Right? Yeah.
So in other words, if they don't if they come to your frozen account and check it, they'll go, "Oh, ding ding, it's frozen. This must be fraudulent," and they will reject the application. So if whoever the lender is that someone's trying to steal your identity with checks your credit, that thief would be denied. And so it does help with identity theft, but it does not prevent it because sometimes they don't even bother to check the bureau, and that's what you're getting into. So, yeah, you can freeze it, and that's what I did, and you can get Xander Insurance identity theft protection, and that's what I did. And the reason we have endorsed Xander Insurance's version all these years is because the big thing about identity theft is not that you owe money, it's that it takes you 600 hours on average to clean up your account after your identity's been stolen, because you have to go talk to Bank of America and go, "No, that wasn't me." "Oh, sure, you just don't want to pay your bill." "No, it wasn't me." "Oh, we'll transfer you to the fraud victim department," and then I have to get a police report, and then I have to sign notarized statements, and I have to do all this crap to not pay a bill that I didn't even take out and was fraudulently taken out in my name because you people are doofuses and issued credit without even checking the credit bureau report. And it's like somehow I get the brunt of that. But that's what identity theft does to you. It steals your time. Because you don't owe the money when someone steals your identity. You didn't borrow the money. It's a fraudulent transaction. You're not liable for fraud. But you have to go clean it all up. And Xander Protection assigns a counselor to you, and they go do all that work.
Oh, wow.
And it gets done a lot more efficiently than me calling and arguing with some idiot on the phone at Citibank.
Well, I'm also thinking...
And by the way, that's what you get on the phone at Citibank.
If I'm an hourly employee, it is going to cost me money, right? I'm going to have to sit there and take some time. I can't just...
It costs me money because it takes years off my life.
Holy... And you only have a few of those left, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm right at the end here. I'm right at the end, and so anything that causes me to lose more hair is valuable to me.
We are counting
it's very
hairs,
valuable.
man.
Yeah, you're shut up, John. Shut up, John. Old person jokes, John. I mean, really, you're above that. You really are. No, maybe
I'm not above a lot, man.
Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. I mean, I could be wrong, but no. I mean, yeah, it does, because it just, talking to somebody in a cubicle in New York at Citibank, or God help you in some other country where they've outsourced it,
or making a police report to an overtaxed police department over
like they ain't got anything to do.
Jeez Louise.
They're not worried about like real crime. Listen, I got $700 opened up in my name at Citibank. I need a police report.
Right.
And they're like, oh no, we're kind of busy right now.
Man.
We have real criminals out here. No, that's a real criminal. Well, it's $700.
But I had never thought of freezing my kids' accounts. I'm going to do that this week.
There you go.
It's a great idea.
There you go. You may have to get a court-ordered guardianship.
Man, I dare him. Dare him. Man, I dare him.
This is the Ramsey Show. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Peak real estate season is just around the corner. This year, things are different. Home prices are higher. Competition is crazy between buyers out there, the things they're doing in some of these markets. And sellers need to know what they're doing if they're going to make the most of the sale of their home. If you're going to sell a home right now, this is not amateur hour. You need to be careful. You need to have a pro in your corner so you don't make a six-figure mistake. Don't jump head first into something you don't understand. If you don't know where to start, you're not sure financially ready for a mortgage, you don't know what you're doing, you're buying or selling in this market, you need an endorsed local provider. One of the top real estate agents in the nation that we have vetted as not only high performing, but incredible excellence in how they take care of you. And that's what you need in your corner. One of the Ramsey trusted, endorsed local providers. Go to RamseySolutions.com/agent to connect with one of our trusted ELPs. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They are the #1 online retailer of custom window covering. You get free samples, free shipping, and the new promos they run all the time, you'll save even more. You can find out how they became #1 by dealing with them. They're an incredible company. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal on your window blinds at Blinds.com.
All right, today's question comes from Joanna in Oregon. I've been married for 2 years, and we never combined our finances. I'm self-employed and expect to make $50,000 this year. My company is in my spouse's name, even though he does not contribute anything to the business. He distributes the money after I make it and withdraws 20% for himself. We recently discussed having children, and he said I would have to save to make up for my lost salary during maternity leave, just as I would for anything else that I wanted. I am crushed. I feel stupid, betrayed, and trapped. He holds all the cards, so where do I go from here? Basically, her husband's stealing from her, right? This seems messier than it's written. If I'm reading this just at face value, I would go get an attorney tomorrow. I mean, it sounds like this marriage is over. It sounds like she's being held hostage. There's got to be more to it than this.
Yeah, the language that she's using, it has him at such a level of control that I worry about him hitting her too.
Oh, this just screams abusive. Yes.
It screams toxic control.
Yes.
Crazy. She's not allowed to, pick her own lipstick color type stuff. This is just strange.
My name goes on your business that you work at and that you pay me from.
Yeah, and you give me a tithe because I'm the guy.
The guy tax, yes.
The guy tax.
And if you want to go do things like, I don't know, have a kid, then great. You can have a kid.
You're gonna have to pile up. You're gonna have to be able to take care of that because I can't have my
lifestyle.
You can't affect my husband tax
or my lifestyle tax. Yeah. My expectation.
All that money you make for me.
Right.
I mean, dude, this sounds whacked.
Yeah. Something's not right here. But if this is me, I would go see an attorney tomorrow. I don't know another way to do this because this just reeks of major problems.
Here's the thing, Joanna. He does not hold all the cards. The only thing he holds is emotional control over you. And he doesn't really have much legal control because that business that you started and he has to be put in his name, divorce court will undo all that. And they'll probably hand you the keys to the whole thing, but certainly hand you keys to 50% of it anyway. So he's not in as much control as he thinks he is or that you have allowed him to have. And so that's the thing. He doesn't hold all the cards. Now, and no, you do not need to have a child.
No,
not in this situation. Now, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go ahead and contact a marriage and family therapist, a marriage and family counselor, and you go talk to them and invite him into that conversation. And I also would go and have a consultation with an attorney. The attorney will teach you what I'm telling you, that he does not hold all the cards. The marriage and family therapist can sit down with you and unpack long form what's going on here and may just simply reinforce what John's saying, and that's activate the attorney. Or they may say there's a glimmer of hope here, and if he did these 5 things, then we could save this, and with an amount of work called counseling, marriage counseling, then maybe this is saved, and maybe we talk about kids down the road. But no kids right now. They're not in this situation. The way this is written, it is written as if you're being abused. Mm-hmm. It has abuser language. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah.
That's why you're activated.
Anytime I'm Dave, you can probably feel me seething here. I hate this scenario. Whenever I hear somebody say crushed and stupid and betrayed and trapped, those words together tell me somebody's literally trapped.
Well, somebody's feeding her that words.
That's right.
She doesn't feel that way on her own. She's been. Those are actual emotions.
Right.
That she's been told that she's owned.
And
she believed it. Yeah. It's got too much domestic violence language in it. And so now, Joanna, I'll escalate. If he's hitting you, you can play with that if you want to. I don't think I would. I'd just be done with it. If you were my daughter, there'd be other things involved. But aside from that, I'd be telling you, as a part of the other things, I'd be telling you to get away.
I'd probably drive you to...
Yeah, that way you don't get caught in a crossfire. So
I'd probably drive you to the attorney, yes.
Yeah, well, and, just call the homicide detective over. So, yeah,
we'll call Granddad. That's right.
Yeah. We have ways of dealing with you boys, but, yeah, that's old school. But you don't, this is wrong. Yep. Everything in this language that you wrote, honey, is bad, and you're worth more than all of this. And so get some help, get an attorney, get a counselor, get a good pastor in your corner, get some community around you. You are not trapped. You are not stupid. You are betrayed.
Yeah.
But that's just confirmation. Wow.
Anybody sitting out there listening to this that feels this way, crushed, stupid, betrayed, trapped, go talk to somebody. Dave, you said it best. You got one tiny, quick life. And, man, you're worth more than spending that life feeling stupid and betrayed and trapped. Go talk to somebody, whether it's a marriage counselor, whether it's a pastor, whether it's an attorney, whether it's a friend that knows your story. Go take action. You are worth more than being trapped. I hate it.
If he's obviously in some kind of bully mode, at a minimum, and the bullies are not, they're never made happy by you going along.
No, it puts gasoline on a fire.
Yeah. And so the only thing you can do is set boundaries and separate with a bully. That's all you can do. And then they can decide, with those healthy boundaries in place, are they going to continue or are they going to heal?
Yeah.
Whatever's broken inside of them that's causing them to bully.
But you said it right. They have to heal. And often folks who find themselves like Joanne on the other side of this think they are contributing to the healing of somebody else, and you're not.
No, that's called codependency.
You are trying to throw sand into a hole that can never be filled that way, man. He's going to have to do his own healing. He's going to have to decide.
There's really one thing you can do with domestic violence, and that's get away from it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's it. And once you get away from it, then both parties have somewhat of a chance of putting something together that looks like health.
Yeah.
But at least you stay alive, and you're not a punching bag anymore. And this has, again, all of
the
language.
Yeah.
1,000 years ago, I think I've told you this. I don't know if I said it on air or not. There was an old show called the Sally Jesse Raphael Show.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I was on that show several times, and they had an on-staff counselor that would come on the air with us, a lady. And I got to talking to her off, and she showed me this piece of research, all this data where someone is a super hyper-controlled with the money, the husband is. There's a high correlation with that in domestic violence.
Absolutely.
Like he wouldn't let her buy a certain cereal, every little detail. Hyper control.
It's financial abuse. Yeah.
Well, it's correlated with him using her as a punching bag, and it's a real indicator. This is the Ramsey Show. Of Ramsey Solutions. They're here on the debt-free stage. Edgar is here along with Floor. Welcome, guys. Good to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Honored to have you with us. So, you guys live where?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
I love it. And all the way across America to be in Nashville to do your debt-free screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Love it. How much have you guys paid off?
We paid off $380,281.33.
Wow! Love it. And how long did this take?
It took us 4 years and 10 months.
Wow, very good. And your range of income during that time?
We started from 200 to 300.
Wow.
Very cool.
What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a medical technologist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a registered nurse.
All right. And you guys are working a lot.
Oh, a lot.
Yes, sir.
You're working a lot. And you paid off $100,000 a year for 4 years. That's impressive.
We started slow, and then in the last 2 years, we went crazy.
You went crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what kind of debt was this? Was this all student loans or what?
No.
Nope.
We have credit card, solar panel, and we paid off our house.
Yeah! Wow. Look at it, weird people! Woo! House and everything.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, so what got you so fired up 5 years ago?
Actually, we went to a party, and him and our friend Oscar, because he heard you on the radio, and he mentioned it to him, and we found out he get a book. Bought a book, the Total Money Makeover, and then we just found out that during our gatherings we cannot able to see him because he's been working a lot, and then 2 years after they paid off their house too, so we get so motivated that they can able to do it, then we will able to do it also.
Oh, so it's kind of one of those, if Oscar can do it, I mean, I know
we can do it.
I know we can do it. So is he with you? Is he in the
Yes.
cheering gallery over there? All right, that's cool.
Fantastic.
That's very cool.
So is that how it went, Edgar? Floor came to you and said, Oscar's really working hard. What are you doing, man?
I was driving to work. We make good money. We're broke. So I was in the parking lot, and I ordered your book. And I gave Floor the next day because I read it in one night. and she won't listen. So I signed up for your Smart Money conference in Phoenix.
No, in Las Vegas first.
Yeah, Las Vegas in Phoenix.
Then I'm still doing a lot of ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where we started, and then when they paid off their house, that's where I found another second job, full-time job. So I worked 6 nights in 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah. So no sleep.
What are you working, like 100 hours?
So 72 hours a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a stud.
Wow.
Yep.
For 4 years?
Yes.
And you paid off your house?
Yes, sir.
What's this house worth?
Now it's 435.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the value is.
Right now, it's the value right now.
Very good.
But we got it like 300.
We started 327.
Yeah. Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And Flores, of course, nurse can work all the time too. So you were working crazy too, right?
Yes, I work like 5 to 6 nights a week.
During
So
the pandemic.
That's 12 hours per night.
Wow.
So I'd like to introduce you to the 3 kids who are sitting on the stage with you, right?
Please, sir.
How did you persevere? How did you keep working through that, man?
That's a long time.
They're part of the journey.
Okay.
Yeah. She helped make dinner for the kids, for the 2 boys, because we work nights. And then this little, the middle one said, "Papa, go sleep so you get to work again and make more money." And this little one, "Hey, how much investment do you have?" So he kept asking how much money we have. Yeah, so we paid off the house and then investment at the same time. So right now we have 700,000 on our mutual funds.
So you're millionaires.
Yes, sir.
Everyday millionaires.
Yes.
Look at you.
Because of you guys.
I didn't give you anything. We
Yeah.
told you how to do it. I didn't work
Dan's
those
my new
hours.
idol.
We went to bed, man.
You worked those hours. I'm so proud of y'all.
I was working and so the music's in my brain.
Wow. Megan, Matthew, Miguel, you guys are rock stars too. Family affair.
Yep.
Good for you
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Really impressive.
Yeah, they're very helpful. Yeah. Without them, we can't do it. And then we have these 2, Oscar and Brenda.
Wow.
And then my auntie also. So
all right.
we drove here.
The whole cheering squad.
Yep.
And you're millionaires.
Yes, sir.
So impressed.
Yeah.
So what is your country of origin?
Philippines.
Philippines. How long have you been in the States?
19 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since 2000.
I came here with $20 in my pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now you're a millionaire.
Yes, sir.
Man, you guys are
Paid off.
amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, kids. Yeah.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Thank you, kids. Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys,
they're really,
that's just absolutely amazing.
They're really a big part, and they're always involved. Why we're doing this? It's just it's
Well,
because
you know,
of them.
the money and the work is one thing. They get to see you make money. They get to see you work is another thing. But what they got from you on this, maybe you didn't even realize it, is you came here believing that you can win, and you went about the business of doing it.
Yes.
I mean, and you didn't take no for an answer. You went out there and grabbed life by the throat and made it behave, and that's what they saw.
Yeah.
They now know that they can do anything because they saw their mom and dad do it.
Right.
And they got to participate. They got to make dinner and go to bed and champion you guys. And so they got to see what it happens when a whole family says, we're going here and we're going to do it together. And man,
there may be victims somewhere in this building, future entitled victims,
stage.
but they are not on that stage.
Wow.
Yeah. She's 12 years old taking care of the boys. So when we started this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
There are 12-year-olds listening to this show that don't know where their underwear's.
Yeah.
Wow, you're amazing. Wow.
Absolutely fabulous. So well done. All right, what do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Live and work like no one else. Communication. Avoid going to the store.
Sounds personal, Floor.
Yes, sir. I do. I still fell off the wagon most of the time, and I think
Big Y. Identify our big Y.
Big Y and you as husband, wife, and the kids. You like always talk
Always
about
the
your
same page.
future and your
Change your
plan.
family tree.
Yeah. Change the legacy. Yep.
Yeah,
Family
and
tree.
you have. You guys are so impressive. Well done. Well done. What was the hardest part? All the work?
Well, the kids is complaining, we're going to go there. So we don't have time for them. Now we have a lot of time.
Now you got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And no debt, and you got money.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
You can do whatever you want. You lived like no one else. Now you can live and give like no one else, and you're still going to be worth tens of millions of dollars when this story's over.
Did you quit that second job?
Yes.
Yeah, it felt good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I will, not yet, but slowing down.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to now. It's hard to get out of the zone once you're in that zone.
Yes,
But
yeah.
now you step off.
Yeah, have to slow down. Yeah.
Step off and enjoy the ride now.
Yeah, we miss all these high school kids, high school life for my daughter.
You get to do all that, and you get to do more because of what you've done in the last 4 years.
Yes.
Now be sure you get the fruit. Okay, don't just grow the tree.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well done. I'm so proud of you guys. You're amazing. You're like animals, man. So powerful. We got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you because you have changed your legacy. You've changed your family tree. Very proud of you. Incredible story. And of course, also a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to pass on to someone like Oscar passed on this idea to you guys. And I'm sure you're inspiring people all over the place around you with what you've done.
One more.
Mm-hmm.
I passed the idea to Oscar, but they're gazelle right from the start, so they paid off their house ahead of us.
Okay. So he passed inspiration back to you.
Yes. Yep.
I got it. But you passed the idea
Yes,
to
we're
him.
giving books to our friends, and it's only so far Oscar follow the steps.
I got it. Okay, there you go. Well done. All right, it is Edgar and Flor, Megan, Matthew, and Miguel. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
That's what you call a baby steps millionaire.
I'm just speechless.
That's amazing.
4 years.
Amazing. Our scripture of the day, Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Brian Tracy said, leaders think and talk about the solutions. Followers think and talk about the problems.
Oh, that's a great quote, man.
So we just come off of 4th of July weekend, Independence Day. And, of course, there's all this rhetoric and the hate out there floating around that the American dream is dead. America is horrible. I'm ashamed of America, and all these people with their dissatisfactions taken out on the country that they live in. And then you meet Edgar and Flor.
Man.
You come here from the Philippines with $20 in his pocket 19 years ago. 4 years and 10 months ago, he decided they were going to get out of debt. And while they were doing that, they were going to keep investing because it was baby steps 4, 5, and 6 and doing it properly the way he's supposed to, paying off his house and simultaneously investing. And we meet him 4 years and 10 months later, and he has $700,000 in his mutual funds, owns a $400,000 paid-for house, is 100% debt-free, and is a millionaire. Somehow that doesn't sound to me like the American dream is dead.
Man.
I think what's dead are people's brains.
I'm kind of at a loss for words, man. We went out there during the break and got to high-five them and hug them, and there's tears of emancipation. There's tears of peace. There's tears of we outworked everybody.
Man, they did.
We outworked you. And we went to both of them are highly educated. They got hard degrees, like a nursing degree and a medical technology degree. And they got education. They worked their butts off. And then they just got home and said, hey, we're going to hit the gas. And they brought their kids along for the ride. So their kids had a ringside seat to what hard work looks like, what freedom looks like, what, hey, we're all contributing looks like. it just goes back to there's no
what living the American dream looks like.
It's hard work.
We came here from the Philippines to live in the land of opportunity, and by God, we're going to get our opportunity.
And we're going to make
and
it.
We're not going to, I didn't hear them say, somebody held us back. I didn't hear any isms. I didn't hear anything.
Well, I guarantee you they were. I'll guarantee you.
I'll guarantee you people mistreated them along the way.
And they leaned on each other. They leaned on their friends.
And their friends,
and their family.
Their friends have tears run down their face. They got community.
They've got people in their life saying, we are all in together. And now you got, I just can't get over.
There's a formula here for you guys out there listening, okay? It's not just bashing those that are bashing America, that's okay. I'll put that in there gladly, okay? Because you need to be smacked sideways. But just aside from that, the formula is that you get what you sign up for. Mm. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Mm. What you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And so if you say, America's gone bad, there's systemic racism, there's systemic sexism, there's systemic economic
disparity,
inequality, disparity, there's systemic everything, and so I can't get ahead. But then there's Edgar.
Right.
Who says, shut up.
Yeah, I'm going to go
with his life.
Huh.
With his life, he says, no, that's not how this is going to happen. That's not how it works. Yes, all of those isms are out there.
And
there are jerks that hold people back because of whatever.
Yeah.
There are people that think that I'm not intelligent because I have a Southern accent. Yeah. This is how stupid our culture is. Okay. There are jerks that will hold you back in anything all the time, whatever. You can't be on this show because you're conservative. You can't be on this show because you're liberal. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Can't. And then there's Edgar.
Who says, hey,
if you believe,
we're doing it. Yeah.
I believe that if I go do this, that this is going to be the result. And based on his belief, he turns up the heat.
And then he gets some friends in his life, and they turn it up on each other.
And they're competing, friendly.
Hey, where's Oscar? Hey, he's working a second job.
Hey, Oscar rode down here with us from Las Vegas.
Man.
And Brenda.
Yeah.
They came along for the ride.
Because they're in it with us.
Yeah, we're in it to win it, baby. Man. And there was no victim thing. There's no anything. There's no America's dead. Oh, I came here and it was all a lie.
Yeah.
That didn't what happened.
There's just
that's not how I experienced it. Well, then maybe you need to change your belief,
or change your community,
or change who you're listening to, or who it is that you're going to, because your belief causes your actions.
Yeah.
His belief caused him to work 100 hours a week.
What one of
He's
the
a millionaire.
Truest isms in psychology is what you believe you will see everywhere.
Yep.
What you want to go see, what you envision will be everywhere. And that doesn't mean that like you said, it doesn't mean that there isn't evil and ugly and hatred. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And then you can decide, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to look as hard as just like when I go outside in my yard and there's no lights out there, I can be still for a minute and I can see the little pinpricks of light in those stars across the dark. I can go see the light and I'm going to go find it. And I'm going to keep showing up and keep showing up. I'm going to take my friends with me and they're going to take me with them. And it's rare that I'm sitting here inspired on this show. And it happened today because I got to watch what it looks like when somebody says $20 in an opportunity. I'm in. Yeah, I'm in, man.
Put me in, coach.
He changed it. Forget coach. I'm just heading out on the field, right? I'm headed on the field. When I coached high school,
you don't need permission.
I had a player that would just head out, and you know what I wanted? I wanted that guy on the court because I'll take this last shot. And he that kind of kid also practiced his butt off and also worked and was a great teammate. But it's the kid saying, "Oh, I'm in on this last play."
Yeah,
I'm in, man.
I'm your guy,
and that's the guy I want, man.
I'm your guy. You can't keep me out. You're not going to hold me back.
Man.
You're not going to tell me no.
Man.
And sometimes it takes 20 years, sometimes it takes 20 months, sometimes it takes 4 years and 10 months. And then you've not only changed your life, your current present circumstances, but you've not only changed your retirement, you've not only changed the way you age out, you've not only changed those kids' lives, but you literally, not metaphorically, you literally really have, that's what that means, changed your family tree.
Yep.
Because we're talking that 12-year-old out there. That kid is, she's way beyond 12.
She's going to take the combined computational brain power of those two incredible parents, plus their work ethic that they showed her and taught her and expected of her and held her accountable for, and she's going to take that to a university that's going to honor it, or into the workplace that's going to honor it, and there will be, you know what I mean?
No, the sky's the limit.
There is no stopping.
It's rocket fuel.
I'm going to be really kind to her because I'm probably going to be working for her someday, Dave. My goodness. It's incredible. It's incredible.
That's true. You probably should be.
It's incredible. It's if we can experience what I call the both and. If you can hold your childhood trauma, your pain, the very real isms that exist, and then open your eyes in the morning and say, what am I going to do?
In spite of that,
what am I going to do?
What am I going to be?
What am I going to do? And you've got to. I've worked with people who are. You just forget all that and you just go. That's dumb.
No.
And then I've got other folks who say, I can't do anything. I'm stuck here. Right. It's both.
Not saying
it's both and.
It doesn't exist.
It's both and.
We're not in denial. This is not repression. This is it's there and
it's both and.
Go do it anyway.
Get up and go, man, and get a group of. You can't do it by yourself. Get a group of people that's going to show up and drive across the country with you.
Go be Edgar.
Oh my gosh.
Go be Edgar when you grow up.
Man.
I mean, go be Floor when you grow up.
Yes.
That's what you want to be. And that's
I'm going to get T-shirts made. They had Ramsey T-shirts I'm going to get.
And let me just tell you, you don't need to be out there if you're that guy saying America's dead. You don't need to be doing that.
Nope.
Because it's factually incorrect. It's intellectually dishonest. And you're a jerk when you do it. So, on top of that.
I'm getting my Team Floor and Edgar shirts today.
There we go. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
This is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. You can listen to all our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. Browse by topic or even sync clips to your friends. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.